DC. He goes for number 5. He sees Code Force. Oh, he gets it. That's an ace.
Welcome back, everybody, and we are super excited to have you here with us. This is CCS Invite League Season 2. We are currently at the tail end of week number 5, and today we have a great matchup for you. But before we get to that, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I just wanted to remind everybody that there will be no matches. And I think I erroneously said last time next week, but there will be no matches in 2 weeks. November 22nd and November 24th matches have been rescheduled. So correction on that. It's not next week. It's the week after that we will be having no matches. But you don't have to take my word for it because our full season schedule is available on ccsesports.com along with detailed team rankings and statistics, as well as individual player rankings and statistics, all available ccsesports.com. And a quick shout out to our statistician in CCS who meticulously watches every single game and records stats you couldn't even dream of. Mr. B. Gibbs, we appreciate all the hard work you do as a volunteer for CCS, sir. I'm sure all the teams, players, and fans give you a big old salute. Let's get some shout-outs in chat for Mr. B. Gibbs. Thank you. Also joining us tonight is our silent but deadly cameraman, Mr. Kaz Rep at Kaz Rep, C-A-Z-R-E-P on Twitter. My name is Ty Tangles, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I am joined tonight by veteran caster Crazy Man. Crazy Man, what do you think of that matchup?
I mean, I was ready for it to be neck and neck all the way to the end. On Border, it was neck and neck, but on Chalet, it was a bit more one-sided. But nonetheless, it was an exciting match to watch, and I'm ready for this next match tonight, too.
I am indeed, and I agree with you. I thought it was going to be... I could have bet money we were going to see it in overtime. And we got close on the first map. We got into some 1v1 situations that Omen ended up on top. And because of that, Omen takes it. No overtimes, 2-0. But enough about Omen and Kronos. The match we have ahead of you is promising to be a good one with Powerhaus Gaming taking on Reverse Esports. Ranked number 8, ranked number 12. Reverse hasn't been able to pick up a win this season. What do you think's going on with them, and what are they going to need to do tonight to take a win versus Powerhaus?
Well, I mean, the thing about... I don't entirely know what Reverse is doing. I think they're just losing their gunfights. You know, none of them have a positive KD right now, so that's extremely unfortunate for them. As you said, they don't have a win yet. I think mainly because they're not winning these gunfights. Maybe they're positioning themselves poorly. Maybe they're just not ready for these pushes. Maybe it's poor droning. You know, it could be any number of things that are going wrong. But you know, it's up to these team members to really pay attention and learn from their mistakes. You have these resources to use. You've got, you know, VODs, things like that you can go back to, watch them, learn from your mistakes, you know, bring in, you know, experienced members from competitive gaming that, you know, or competitive Siege that can help you out. So, you know, it's up to these players to just take advantage of these resources to really improve themselves. And if they're not taking advantage of that, then, you know, they're just going to stay at rank 12 throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah. And, it can be demoralizing to be winless, but it is still early in the season. We're only a third of the way through. So they got plenty of time to kick their rank up a little bit because only the top 8 teams qualify to go to the playoffs and compete for that $1,000 cash prize. That being said, Reverse, a lot of work ahead of them if they want to make it to those playoffs. But let's not get them, confused. They did a lot of work to get here. They won a qualifier. They beat out a lot of teams, took first place, and they're here for a reason. So we'll have to see if they've made the necessary changes, as they put in the practice time that they need to do to kind of turn this slow start around. That being said, we're getting the players in the game right now. So, Mr. Crazy Man, if you don't mind, let's have a look at the lineup tonight for Reverse Esports.
All right, so for tonight for Reverse, we've got Avenge, Tater, Insane, Pretz, and Boulder. We've seen almost this same lineup every single time so far. I think Boulder has sat out one game. But this is what I was talking about. You can see all of their KDs are extremely low, 0.5s, 0.5s, insane is the closest one to at least a 1.0 KD.
Mm-hmm.
And while a negative KD on one player isn't too bad as long as someone else is able to trade it off for you, you know, having a negative KD on every single player means that you're just constantly losing gunfights and you're not getting any trade backs. And that's massive in this game. When you start losing people with no way of trading it back, it's going to cost you almost every single round.
Yeah, I agree. And, what's a little bit disheartening is Tater, their Ash Jaeger player, has the lowest KD of all. He's the one that should be opposite of that. So I hope that these guys have learned over the last 4 games that perhaps what they're doing isn't working very well and have made some improvements and kind of went in the direction to make some changes, move some people around on operators, pick or drop some players, guys. You got to do whatever it takes as we progress through this season to try and get to those playoffs. It's very important you finish top 8. Once you finish top 8, the power ranking for the regular season goes right out the window. All it does is determine your seeding, and then you have the ability to come back and plow through playoffs, and then anybody can get to those finals and compete for that cash prize. But that being said, you hit the ball or you hit the nail on the head, and they're just going to have to make something happen. Now, as we have a look over at Powerhaus GG, I will say Powerhaus GG coming in with a 1-3 record. But if you look at this lineup right here, you're going to recognize some of these names. Starting tonight is Holiday Nog, Lojax, Bosco, Swervin, and the breadstick man himself, Crim God. I'm just kidding, Crim. I love you if you're out there listening right now. I just had to give you a little bit of clout. But yeah, I mean, these guys on paper, I say it week after week after week, a fantastic lineup if you're just looking at the names and you're covering all the yellow stuff down below, right? But unfortunately, they haven't had too hot of a start, starting off 1-3. And they're kind of lacking in the KD department too, although Swervin and Holiday Nog working that Blackbeard, Swervin working that Ash, have done their best to kind of keep their heads above water. It's gone a little bit too far. I'm like, well, they're playing a good team. They might be having a little bit of bad luck. They've gone now 4 games and haven't really been what they look like they should be on paper. I don't know if it's a team communication issue. People aren't jiving. But I have a feeling that tonight against the number 12 ranked team, they'll have what it takes to get the job done. What do you think, Crazy?
Well, last match that Powerhaus was in, Bosco was not there. They did have a sub in for Bosco. And then earlier on in the season, we saw Crim having some issues, really getting any kills while playing Ella, which, Ella is a pretty heavy fragger. So some unfortunate things for them so far. We have seen Crim kind of start to wake up a little bit during their last match. He was putting in some work when he needed to, which was nice to see. He does have a lot of rounds played, so his KD is going to be a lot harder. He's going to have to do a lot more if he really wants to buff that KD up. But it's a lot better than what we saw last time. So that shows improvement from Crim himself. The rest of the team, though, Holiday Nog on that Blackbeard, sometimes we don't see him performing too well, which is extremely unfortunate. When you're playing a Blackbeard, you're expected to really get some of the opening kills on some sites, or you really need to be able to shut down rotations through certain spots. You sit in a window, you make it so that the defenders cannot peek that window. But if they peek that window and they take out the Blackbeard, then you made a huge mistake there. So it's I think they're working on getting themselves into a good position. Hopefully with Bosco here this game, it makes it a lot smoother for them. They do have their full starting lineup. As long as Crim shows up tonight like he did last time, then I think Powerhaus has a really good shot of taking this. I wouldn't say 10-0, but maybe it might be fairly one-sided.
Yeah, unfortunately for Reverse, I don't want to throw shade on him or anything, but I do feel like this Powerhaus is a next level team compared to Reverse. So I do agree. And another stat that I was looking at that not a lot of people notice is the overwhelming majority of the players for Reverse, the kills to rounds ratio was less than 50%. So less than 50% of the rounds were they getting a kill on, whereas it trends all the way across the board. Not one person on Powerhouse has a less than 50% kill per round, and actually Swervin having pretty much a 1-to-1 ratio of kills per round kind of shows you an even further separation than what Reverse had. And keep in mind, these guys have been taking loss after loss. Powerhouse has not been having a good streak, but what are you going to do? That being said, we'll switch on over to bans as the bans have gone out, and Cafe, the first ban tonight for Reverse.
Yeah, I mean, Cafe is one of those maps that you're expecting to be banned early on by some of these teams that aren't as skilled or as experienced. There's a lot of vertical play in it, and if you're really not able to play that vertical game, then you're going to lose massively. Border being banned by Powerhouse. Thank you.
I was just going to say that, doing us a favor and banning Border.
I said you're basically guaranteed to play Border every match in CCS, but then Powerhouse says, you know what, eat your own words. Goodbye, Border. Reverse taking out Bank as well, another map that you're not going to see too often from teams that are, rather inexperienced. I'm expecting we're probably going to see Oregon Clubhouse, and I'm going to say Consulate.
I feel it. I reach up into the air and I could just feel the sparks shooting out of my fingers every time I think of Skyscraper. So I think we might see some Skyscraper. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But Border coming out is definitely strange, especially with Powerhouse knowing that they're probably favored. Looking at the other lineup and the stats and everything, that they're probably favored. And I'll tell you what, when I'm looking at another team as a player and I think that I'm a little bit favored, I'm going to try and go with the maps that I am the most. Oh, and there goes Skyscraper. One map before the picks. Darn it. But Coastline's still in the mix-up, so let's see if that's a pick and not a decider map. And Oregon, not a huge surprise coming out first. But anyways, that being said, if I were Powerhouse, I would probably be going back to my go-to maps. And everybody's go-to maps, I don't care who you are, Oregon, Border, right? That's why we see it so often, because so many people are comfortable. And much to my chagrin, Coastline will be the decider. So Reverse, come on, baby, make it happen. Let's see some Coastline tonight. Let's go to 3 maps. What do you say?
I would like to see Coastline. Sometimes it's better to see a lot of the more experienced teams play on Coastline. Those are the much more interesting matches to watch. But I think with these two teams, if it does go to Coastline, I think we're going to see some very rank style plays coming out, not just on defense, but on offense as well. You're going to see them going with probably the Bartlett strat, where you enter from the other side of the map, make sure you flush out all the roamers, and you just work your way towards the site.
Yeah.
But I'm not expecting anything too special if we do get to Coastline. Maybe we'll see some special things on Oregon and Consulate. But I mean, not many teams really take the time to practice Coastline.
Yeah, it's true. And typically your CL and your PL teams that play in CCS will have every map in their map pool to some degree at least. Whereas some of these lower tier teams who don't basically do Siege for a living, they just don't have the time, nor do they practice enough to bring those fringe maps, the maps that you don't see very often, like Bank, like Skyscraper, into their map practice rotation. So yeah, I do agree with you on that. With that, I think the players are getting ready. So your prediction tonight, Powerhouse 2-0, because that's mine.
Yeah, I'm thinking Powerhouse is going to take this 2-0. Maybe Reverse has been practicing a bit more, and they're ready to give Powerhouse a fight. But I still see Powerhouse taking it. But we are going to get underway now, launching into the first map. It is Oregon Powerhouse versus Reverse Gaming. Powerhouse is going to be starting on defense for us. Some have funs coming out. Good luck, have funs coming out in chat from the players. So this is already starting off to be a very good sport match. I'm expecting the teams to really try their hardest right now to make sure that they get the wins. Some standard setups coming up now. We do see the mirror with the smoke from Powerhouse. You're going to see that mirror inside of that closet more than likely. Good thing they brought the bandit, because I've seen a lot of teams go for this setup without a bandit, but then Habana just opens the hatch and then gets rid of the mirror window from the hatch, and it's like, well, you had this great setup and now it's just gone. So I'm glad that they have Crim on that bandit. You see Bosco on the Ella now. We have seen Crim playing Ella mostly for Powerhaus. He wasn't performing too great, so I'm guessing that they decided, let's give it to someone else and see if they can do work with it. And, Krim will have you play another character where your utility is one of the more important aspects of you. So that's a good adaptation from Powerhaus. We do see 2 breachers though for reverse. We have a thermite. We have both thermite and Habana. So they're going to be able to open up the hatches, and if they decide to try to pinch in from construction and bunker there, then they're going to be able to as well. You do see the thermite running in there already. So yeah, I think they're going to get ready to just go for a pretty strong pinch here. But they need to flush these roamers out first if they're going to succeed on this kind of push.
Yeah, I don't expect them to be very successful taking blue unless they also take control of Meeting Hall. So typically when you see these teams attack from the back like this, they will send everything they have up to Meeting Hall first, clear it out, work those hatches, hold some angles on people coming through the split, coming back at them, and they will, then up to go down. Because you're not usually going to hit a lot of resistance in blue when you're opening up that wall that Thermite just hit, right? So that's an easy take. Go take the harder Meeting Hall where you're going to need a little bit more utility, and that makes it a little bit easier. But Tater goes in and uses his 5-speed Ash to take out the first player, but Bosco comes in, takes 2 back, and now they're retaking control as Swerven picks up another one, bringing it 4-2. And see, this is one of those situations where you're going to be a lot better off if you had all your players up there helping you take Meeting Hall, take control of it, take full control of it, then just get a spot where you can hold angles, right? Get a spot where you can hold angles and let them retake it on you. In this case, they just were doorway to doorway, and they lost their fights. And here comes Holiday Nog cleaning up the mess with the 2 players that were downstairs. And not only that, but you probably had the attackers that were up in Meeting Hall coming down the hatches any second. So, if you're going to attack from the back, you got to have that vertical control first, reverse. They started off well, but challenging, not getting into Meeting Hall established and cutting off that rotation back in from the double door spelled disaster for reverse that round.
I mean, they were getting very aggressive there. They started pushing in immediately, opening up walls immediately, and Krim. So I don't want to bash on Krim, but he got taken out very early, and that's why we don't see him on that Ella anymore. I think because he does tend to get taken out pretty early on. But then Bosco came in on the Ella, and he finished up 2 people with Swerven pushing up to take out the third, as Bosco got dropped down to like 5 health. So that kind of teamwork, working off of each other like that, that's beautiful to see from Powerhaus, just completely retaking Meeting Hall. So I mean, those are the kind of plays that you really want to see, that really strong teamwork. I don't know if their comms were just completely flawless there, or if Swerven and Bosco have just been practicing so well that they're able to work off of each other almost flawlessly. But that's exactly the kind of roam that I always want to see. It is them working together, not working alone. Krim was working alone and he died because of it.
Yeah. Bosco did something very smart there. He was very aggressive, but in a calculated manner. And if you ever watch ESL, you hear Kickstar talk about this. Calculated aggression. And so he went, he peeked, he got a kill, he re-peeked, got a kill, he re-peeked again, got some damage down, and now he established a trend. So the guy that was still left on the attack, sitting at the doorway, was so focused on that door that his teammate Swerven was able to go to the door on the opposite side, peek in, and blow the last guy's head off, right? And then, of course, the last 2 guys were down below on attack. And from there, it was an easy cleanup. Holiday Nog just went with doop-de-doop with his little SMG-11, and there was just nothing the attackers could do after that. That being said, I'm looking at this setup here for reverse. Taking the upstairs, that is a very a common strategy that we see. Holding kitchen like we do. Very reminiscent of flip side tactics. Kind of pulled this sort of defense in Year 2, Season 2, where it was a very big trend to get that buck in the kitchen and really open up that floor. You could always depend on Amira being in kids, and you could really open up that floor. And also, it was very popular to kind of be in between the 2 windows in kids. So usually, you could open up that that floor really well. You could open up that floor kind of right where smoke is right now, and get in there. But with the more experienced team and a little bit changed meta now because of the traps, the IGL is going to recognize that, man, they just invested a lot of utility in the kitchen. Let's push somewhere else open up that wall, which they did in the first, minute and 15 seconds, and now they're in a more advantageous position as they're going to have to wait for those guys in kitchen to try and run back upstairs.
Yeah, but I mean, Reverse is buying quite a bit of time right now. Pret's down here with the C4. He still has the potential to get a kill. He's going to toss his C4 up, and he does get a kill onto Holiday Dog, but Bosco immediately trades it back, and then Tater taking out Lojax, putting it to a 4v3. It's in favor of Reverse right now. Bosco's going to push in, get the kill onto Tater. It's a 3v3 now. 45 seconds left in the round. Swervin pushing in here. Krim is going to take out Avenge. Swervin and Krim pushing into sight. Krim taking out Insane as well. It's all down to the last player. It's Boulder sitting at the top of White Stairs. Krim is going to push around, get the shot, and he's going to finish the round.
And that is the Krim that Powerhaus needs tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, hashtag Krim 3-piece. Let's get it trending on Twitter in the R6 community. You know you could do it, right? Hashtag Krim 3-piece. No, but in all seriousness, they did a fantastic job. Reverse did in the beginning. Then all it came down to was unnecessary aggression. There was 45, 50, 55 seconds, something like that left on the clock. You don't need to peek that, okay? You got a mirror right there. They opened up the wall kind of where that white bookcase sits usually, and there's a big gaping hole there, and two people were lined up perfectly on the defense, peeking at once, right? Reverse, you got a 3v3. You were at 4v3. Sure, Bosco won that gunfight. That could have gone either way. But now you're at a 3v3. There's no need to get aggressive. There's no need to get aggressive. And if you are going to get aggressive, at least tell your teammate, hey, guy, I'll do the peeking. You just watch the mirror. But instead, they both peeked together, and I think they tagged the other one in the back a little bit, getting him down, creating a little bit of confusion. And Krim decided, hey, I'm going to take this opportunity while they're reloading to run in there, pick up that 2-piece, hold that angle on White Stairs where they knew they'd be coming up, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic job from Powerhaus there. The last, 40 seconds, they just went in. It was just action non-stop, especially with Krim and Swervin both pushing in there onto Dorm's main hall. They walked in, and the two of them were just shoulder to shoulder, shooting at every single defender, pushing them out of their positions as best as they could. It was just fantastically played from Powerhaus. It was beautiful to watch. It was really intense as well.
Yeah, Bosco escaping that clutches of that corner while he was on his cameras by the hair of his chin, but aggressively peeks back in and gets the headshot. Bosco cannot be touched right now. He is on cloud 9, especially after winning that fight and beating all. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to keep challenging it until it stops working, and so far it hasn't stopped.
I mean, a big mistake from Pretz there, just sitting on the window like that. You've got to... You should never really challenge an Ella from a window like that, because Ella has 51 rounds in her SMG. She could just keep shooting. Yeah, you can, run back and forth. Yeah, you can change where you are just a little bit, but it doesn't matter because she could just hold the trigger and fire for longer than you can imagine. So just sitting on that window like that, it just cost him massively.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, and I'm going to add another degree to that. Not only are you challenging an Ella with 51 bullets, but on the other end of that Ella is Bosco, okay? And right now, he is on a tear, and he will not hesitate to challenge you. So he's going to make you be on your game because he knows he's already on his, and so he's going to make you work for it and beat him at that gunfight.
Yeah, and he is still buying a lot of time for the defense here. He's wasting Avenge's time. Avenge trying to push into Master here, and Bosco is just completely distracting him. The Prisma mine is going to go off, and Bosco is going to get some shots onto Avenge. Some damage, not a kill just yet, though. Avenge proning behind the bed just in time to save his life. Boulder is out on the balcony here. He's going to try to help his teammate, but Avenge is going to get the shot. Oh, no, Boulder gets the shot onto Bosco. Avenge is down inside of the little closet there. But I think that the attacker, or the defenders know, and they're trying to shoot from down below, trying to finish off that kill, but Boulder's going to walk in. He's going to pick his teammate up. And I think they're going to try to get this wall open now. Holiday Dog is going to take out Tater elsewhere on the map. So it's a 4v3 right now. Blackbeard, Thermite, and Habana are the ones that are still standing. Insane getting a beautiful headshot onto Holiday Dog. If he didn't have that Blackbeard shield, I think Insane would have lost that fight, and he does get taken out by Krim in the end. Swervin taking out Boulder as well. Avenge sitting in the closet is just going to have his back to Krim, and Krim is going to take advantage of it and finish up the round.
Yeah, that was a beautiful cleanup for Powerhaus. I mean, they just won their gunfights, and then and they've been doing it the whole time. They win their gunfights, Once they get the numbers, they calm down. They're actually very tame once they get the numbers, and they peak. Sure, they peak. Sure, they challenge, but they challenge with thought, if that makes sense, right? They're not just, oh, there's 2 guys left, I'm going to run in and I'm going to get a kill. That's not what's going through their heads, right? Oh, you guys are taking all the kills. You're not letting me have any kills. That's not what they're doing. They're getting the numbers once they win those gunfights, and then they're, making the peaks at the proper moments. I think Bosco on that last one, got a little bit too in on that, trying to get that guy behind the bed and paid for it. But, his teammate was right there on the other side of the door to trade it right back. And, again, great round by Powerhaus. And now they're sitting at 3-0. And 3-0 is kind of that point where if you're the other team, if you're the O, it's very, very difficult to come back from this point. It starts to gnaw at you in the head. And, of course, we've seen teams come back from 0-3, 3-1, 0-4, 4-1. However, it just does not happen that often. And the way that it's been going, I guess what you said every time that somebody's in this situation, but the way that this has been going, Reverse not only has the disadvantage, but they also have that mental thing now that they have to deal with.
I mean, at this point, the only way that they can win is to get a win now and continue that momentum for, another 4 rounds afterwards, or at least, push it for 3 rounds, then maybe this round, push to overtime. But Avenge getting taken out this early on. He's just standing on that stairwell after Bosco opened it up. It's these kinds of mistakes that are going to cost Reverse the game, and they just need to learn from it. I mean, they have the VOD now. They're going to have the VOD. Go back, watch it, learn from it. But they're losing these fights that they shouldn't be losing. They're getting caught in positions they shouldn't have been in the first place. It's showing that they're an inexperienced team, and until they learn from this, until they change what they're doing, they can't go much further in CCS.
Yeah, and for the 3 out of 4 rounds, Bosco with the opening kill, and at some point, they're going to have to figure out something to stop Bosco. Now they're doing this, really heavy meeting hold. They did that really heavy kitchen hold. I feel like maybe a beautiful grenade by Bosco off the wall. You can't do that with a nitro cell, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable kill. But what I was saying is, can I even remember what I was saying? That was so impressive. No, I can't. I've just been shut down. Bosco, you done ruined my brain.
Yeah, he killed him and your brain. So
yeah, with one grenade.
But oh my God, Bosco is just putting in work this round. He does shut down Boulder as well. It's all down to insane. He's gonna be sitting inside the supply closet. Bosco
hungry
getting
for
the
kills.
Kill again.
Hungry for kills.
4
he said.
Kills.
Is that a 4K or did he get the ace?
I don't know. I think it was a 4K, but it might have been an ace.
Beautiful job by Bosco, killing him with the SMG, killing him with the AR, killing him with the grenades. Shoot, man, just give that guy a pistol. Pistols only from now on, Bosco, okay? Show me the score, camera guy. I got to see what Bosco's sitting at, because it's got to be insane. 9-1. 9-1. Are these guys glad Bosco is back or what? For those folks that don't know it, Bosco was absent the last time Powerhaus played, I believe on this past Friday, a week ago. And, they lost. And now here comes Bosco, 9-1, killing people in ways I didn't even know you could kill people. And again, I just don't know if there's anything at this point Reverse could do to reverse what's happening.
I mean, they are backed into a corner. They've got their tail between their legs. Powerhaus is just ripping through them constantly. We saw that last round. I think it came down on the hammer. Just kind of came down with it in a matter of like a minute. It didn't even take the entirety of the round. They pushed in. They got their troops in. They walked in. And they just started dropping people. Bosco just started dropping people left and right. He just had a lot of momentum behind him. He just kept following through with it, and I mean, that was just an incredible round coming in from Bosco. Powerhaus overall, I'm saying, yes, Bosco got the kills, but his team helped him out massively there. Those drones, they got the drone in the meeting hall. That's why he got the grenade kill onto the Jaeger that was behind the shelving there. Krim getting the first kill this round onto Insane.
And barely escaping with his life, might I add.
Yeah. But you know, when we can say Bosco's getting these kills, but would he have still gotten those kills if his team had not been there with their drones, with the calls? Almost a shot on a swerve in there for Boulder. Um, so, I mean, just overall from Powerhouse, a good showing during that last round, and I'd like to see them continue that kind of play throughout the rest of this season.
Yeah, and you asked that question. Would Bosco have gotten these kills? And the way he's been playing, I'm going to have to go ahead and say yes. Yes, he would. Because there has been no... Oh, my goodness. What a shot. A really great shot by Avenge. I mean, just a pixel angle with a flick. Wow, that is a great shot. And you see, Reverse has talent. I'm telling you guys, Reverse is here for a reason, right? They won their qualifier. They beat a bunch of teams. They have the ability to do good, to do well. They just need to kind of get their feet back from under them. And with that 3-piece, it is now a 4v1. And I think that this map is a gunner if you are Reverse. Let's hope that they can bring it back on the next one. And I don't want to call it too early, but there's not a lot that they can do here. Pretzel does have Bosco low, but Bosco is going to kind of calm down with the... oh, and there it is from behind swerving as Powerhouse taking a clean sweep on map number 1. 5-0. Is there anything that Reverse can do?
I mean, every single round during that map was just so in favor of Powerhouse. I don't think it even came down to one of the players on Powerhouse needing to clutch or really do anything outlandish. Yes, we saw Bosco do some incredible things, but it's not like he had to. He just did it because he could. So when you see the first map go that completely one-sided, when the first map was Reverse's pick, I think the second map is probably just going to be another sweep from Powerhouse. You know, I said I didn't think it was going to be a 10-0 before, but after seeing that first map, I definitely could see this being a 10-0 now.
Yeah, you know, obviously none of us want a 10-0, right? We want to see Reverse pick it up. We want to see him do some work, but they have a lot of work to make up or to do. They have a lot of mistakes that they need to make up for in a very short time to do it, as we will go to a short break and we will be back shortly with map number 2. Thank you folks for being here. Stick around. We'll be back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for sticking it out during that short break for us to get a little bit of a break here. What a commanding victory on map 1 for Powerhouse, taking it 5-0. And Crazy, I was pondering over the break, and you said you thought that the trend might continue and could possibly be the first 10-0 sweep we've seen this season for Powerhouse. And as I was thinking, you know, Powerhouse, they won 5-0, but they did not get stupid or overly aggressive or disrespectful in any manner. Even though they were winning, and because they kept that mentality, I think that they have a very good shot at indeed continuing that trend. Have you changed your mind at all, or you think we're going to see a lot more of what we just saw?
I think Powerhouse is just going to keep taking it seriously. They're not going to get, insane. You're not going to see Bosco go running 500 yards out of the, yellow stairs door to try to get a kill while someone's laying down next to the truck outside a garage or something. I think they're just going to play it seriously. They're going to do what they have to do to make sure they get the win, because they're not really in a position, even though they got a 5-0 on that first map, they're not in a position by the rankings where they're able to make stupid decisions whenever they want. We are going to be getting into the map now. It is Consulate. This is map 2, Powerhouse's pick. So we saw them 5-0 on Reverse's pick. We might just see them 5-0 on their own pick as well.
Yeah, you know, I'm not ever one to say, man, I really hope that we see a 10-0, right? I'd love to see Reverse put up a fight. I think that on their best day, they would be capable of doing so. The problem now is not the skill. We saw some beautiful shots, some beautiful kills from Reverse. We need to see if they now decide, guys, this is the mistakes that we made. Maybe we weren't working well as a team. Maybe we weren't gathering enough intel. Maybe the communications weren't what needed to be there. And that's an interesting reinforcement there by Bandit, I might say, or by gosh, I'm drawing a blank. By Pulse. Usually that wall stays soft, but anyway, that being said, you know, I don't know. Can they do it? I don't know. I don't know them as a team. I don't know if they have that ability to rally, but I sure do hope that they do. I really hope that they bring it back and really show the fans out there that are there watching Reverse, that came for Reverse, that Reverse isn't just a pushover team, that they've got what it takes to lay down the law when it needs to be done, that they got what it takes to make the transition, make the shift in strategy and gameplay and team communication, and you know, put on a show and give this Powerhouse squad a challenge.
They really do need to wake up and, you know, give us that, give Powerhouse that challenge, give us that show that we all came here for. As exciting as it is to watch Crim getting the first kill onto Avenge, as exciting as it is to watch teams just completely flatten another team, you know, it's even more exciting when there's a solid fight being put up. And if Reverse does not get their head in the game right now, which it doesn't seem they are, as Crim is just picking them off left and right, clearing the way for his team. And he's playing IQ right now. Yes, he can be IQ can be a powerful entry fragger, but typically you'll see like an Ash or something. Crim with a grenade onto Tater. Crim with a 3K so far this round. He's pushing up into the bomb site now, watching this connector, trying to see if any of the defenders decide to push in through here, try to shut him down. We do see, I believe the Jaeger is on yellow stairs right now. I'm not entirely sure where the Valkyrie is. Jaeger and Valkyrie both being yellow stairs. Crim getting the headshot onto Insane. He's pushing over in the bathroom now. I'm not sure where the Jaeger is gone. There it is, an ace from Crim.
And ladies and gentlemen, is that, if that's not the first, that's probably only the second ace we've ever seen, or that we've seen this season in CCS. Crim saying, hey, you're not going to call me Crim Stick no more, and drops the 5K. Unbelievable. Withdraw what I said earlier. Forget the hashtag Crim 3Ps. We're going with hashtag Crim Ace right here, right now. And Crim is saying one thing and one thing only, and that is that Reverse, you picked the wrong day to go up against Powerhouse. Holy moly. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. That's all I can say, Crim. Beautiful job.
Holy cow. I mean, he just walked right into that site, was dropping them left and right. He locked Valkyrie and Jaeger down onto that yellow stairwell. I don't think he even realized it. I thought he was about to get a team kill as he peeked towards the front desk there. But he just shut them down like it was nothing with a grenade kill on the person that was hiding behind the A-bomb site. I mean, that was incredible to watch. That's the Crim that we need to see throughout every single match that Powerhouse is in. If he can keep playing like that, he can keep dropping frags like it's nothing. You know, Powerhouse is going to be able to take the rank that they're at now and move way up the chain and, you know, give other teams one hell of a run for their money when it comes to the playoffs. Indeed.
You know, it's one thing losing 5-0 in a map, but whenever the team that just 5-0'd you, you know, you start a new map and one guy comes in and steamrolls your entire team, I don't see any coming back from that. I mean, I have no idea what's going through Reverse's head right now, but it cannot be good, right? I think we can all agree it cannot be good.
I mean, at this point, they're probably beating each other up in those comms, you know, saying, why did you let him get past you? Why didn't you call out where he was coming from? You know, they're probably saying, why were you there? Why'd you get caught off guard there? And things like that. But you cannot just, you're in the middle of a match. You can't be saying this to each other. You need to understand the mistake was made. We have to keep playing. Let's learn from it later. We have the VOD. Let's go back to it later. And that's one of the things that you'll see in more experienced teams is you don't see that psychological factor play in as much. And Lojax is running out of garage here. I said we're not going to see Bosco running out there, but instead we're going to see Lojax and Holiday Dog taking out Boulder as somewhere else. So that's the Habana off the board now. Holiday Dog is very low though. Crim taking out Insane as well. The IQ being taken down now. You know, Tater is sitting here watching for Crim to run out again. They're just buying so much time. They're making Reverse fear every window, every doorway, every angle. You know, Bosco now taking down Pretz. So far, not a single player on Powerhouse has died on this map. Bosco taking out Avenge now as well. Tater being the last one standing. He's standing over by Garage. He's going to get the kill onto Lojack. So, I'm eating my own words. But then Bosco finishes off Tater as he runs behind that truck.
And there you see corpse after corpse after corpse spewing about outside the building. I don't think a single attacker died inside the building. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I don't think so. I think maybe the Habana made it onto yellow stairs, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they all died outside.
Yeah, Reverse, I feel bad for you guys. I want you to do good. I'm rooting for you. Everybody loves an underdog. But guys, you got to do something. You got to make something happen. You got to, if they're getting aggressive and you laying down in a plant outside isn't working, get aggressive right back on them. Push 3 or 4 guys through the window that guy just jumped out of. Eliminate him, and that will immediately say to Powerhouse, okay, well, these guys aren't just sitting idle and waiting for us to come to them, which it shouldn't be like that, right? Powerhouse is on defense. But, you're going to have to do something wily, something crazy, because this normal play that you've been doing the whole time, it's just not working. You got to change something up. Take a shot, take a chance. What's the worst that could happen at this point?
Yeah, I mean, Reverse is just, they're getting shut down everywhere they try to go, and that I'm being told by the Kazrep, our cameraman, that Thermite did make it into yellow stairs, and he got taken out in there. But, I mean, I feel bad for Reverse at this point. They're just getting flattened. Powerhouse is steamrolling them, giving them no chance to really come back and try to fight. It's got to be hard on Reverse. They're not used to, they're not an experienced team, so they're not used to this kind of thing where they're just going to get steamrolled. They're probably beating themselves up, beating each other up for the mistakes, for the bad calls that might be coming in. That's the worst mistake. Bosco with entry frag right there on the boulder behind that circle desk, and this is an Ash droning for themselves. These are the kind of mistakes, I'm just gonna say this now so that if they watch the VOD, if they aren't beating themselves up for it now, then you learn from it now. Learn from it when you watch this VOD and you see this. If an Ash is droning for herself, you should not die to them. You should not, ever. Yeah. That is the biggest mistake you can make. Pretz is going to be at the top of yellow stairs here, getting some shots on the Swervin. Swervin does get downed and finished off by Pretzel, so that's nice. That's a good pick there, but Pretz is just going to get shot down immediately. Bosco at the bottom of yellow stairs is just going to take him out. So, yeah, you got the kill, but what does it matter because you got killed immediately afterwards? I don't think Bosco noticed that Valkyrie cam in Piano, though. I believe I did just see a Valkyrie cam in there, and then we have Avenge going to be sitting behind this white van. An Insane pushing up and getting a nice headshot on a Crim there. Crim was not ready for it, and that showed, but Holiday Nog pushing in from behind is going to take out Tater, and he's going to go back, grab the diffuser, he's going to reload that machine gun. That fused machine gun is an incredible monster, as Bosco is still putting some pressure on the yellow stairs here. Holiday Nog opening up this wall, trying to see if anyone's behind white van, as the rest of Powerhouse gets in position to try to push towards the kitchen area. Holiday Nog is going to clean it up, though, by getting a headshot onto Avenge and then finishing off Insane.
Yeah, I was like, Reverse, come on, guys, it's 3-3, and just the refrags coming back out, and then that LMG coming down and just laying down all that lead. There was just nothing Reverse could do about it. And here, I want to go back to what I said before, right? Even on that defensive round when they were killing people outside, the reason why Powerhouse is so successful right now, right, other than the fact that, yes, they are outplaying them, but the reason why they're so successful right now is they still are doing what they're doing in a respectful manner, right? That Ash isn't just busting that door open, running in, and landing crazy flicks. Don't get me wrong, that flick was crazy on that defender behind the circle desk, but they're droning, they're giving out intel. They're not just kind of, running around, hip-firing people down and doing stupid stuff. And because they will not relent, they will not lay off, they keep that pressure up, but they keep that good teamwork up at the same time, they're just starting to run away with it. And now you're going to kind of see a little bit more wonky operator picks. Again, something I don't think is meant to be disrespectful in any way. I think Powerhouse has gotten to a position where they're comfortable and they say, you know what, we've given our potential opponents next week enough useful information, and further down the line, enough useful information. I think we can kind of start to pull off here and play it a little bit more ranked style, because when it comes down to it, and when we see those gunfights commence, like we saw with that Twitch upstairs last round, the Powerhouse is just winning all of their gunfights. They're just winning all of them. And should a Powerhouse member go down, like we saw with that Valk on the stairs, yellow stairs, they're getting the immediate refrag afterwards.
That was a reverse member that went down on the yellow stairs.
Yes, a reverse member who was playing Valk, right? Who had just come off of a fresh pick, or I'm not sure who it was, but they had just come off of oh, you know what? You're absolutely right. It was actually a Powerhouse member that was the Valk, right? No, I'm lying.
It was reverse. The wording you were saying there, it was like you were saying that you said that
either
Powerhouse
way,
is winning their
and this
gunfights,
grenade. Oh, there he goes. But yeah, now here we are in a 2v2 situation, okay? You know he's there. Why are you peeking the door? Why are you peeking the door? Here we go into a 1v1, and now we're in the first winnable situation that Reverse has been in, okay? So now we have to see, can Avenge, with a minute and 45 seconds, plenty of time, you know, utilize this opportunity to kind of an attempt and bring a comeback for his team, give them a little bit of morality back so they can regroup and try and make something happen. And with him stuck on that drone, I don't know if he's going to have the time. If Caveira decides to go into this bathroom, he's not even going to see it coming. And I think Holiday Dog has absolutely no idea where he is right now. But when he hops off of that drone to get moving, I think he will real quick. This is definitely an interesting situation. I don't know what Holiday Dog's even doing.
This is the part where the music chimes in.
I'm not sure if Holiday thinks he's still out the front door or if he knows he's droning or something. But here comes the noise,
there it is,
and there it is.
There's the shot.
Yep. I knew as soon as that thermite started moving, that Cav would hear it, and that would be kind of it. So here we are again, 4-0 in Powerhouse's favor. You know, they played a little bit more ranked style, and Reverse took advantage of it. They just could not finish the round. I chalked that one up to an unfortunate circumstance. Very interesting to me that Cav didn't just remain on site. I'm curious what kind of, took her up into that area, unless they didn't get the default cam, because they didn't do a very good job of getting in that front door on attack. So they might have left that default cam in, and they might have seen the thermite just run in, and then a second later a drone traveled by. So that could explain it. But either way, here Powerhouse is on the precipice of taking this map 10-0. We saw an ace this round, and I just don't know. Reverse, again, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. We were rooting for you guys, but it's just not looking good for them. And if you're gonna ask me who I'd put my money on at this point, I'd put my money on Powerhouse for a 10-0.
I mean, I'm eating my words from before. I said I don't think we're going to see a 10-0, but now here we are. Right now, technically, this will be 9-0 if you're counting the rounds. So it's likely that it's going to be a 10-0. Powerhouse just tearing through Reverse every chance they have, just pushing in, getting extremely aggressive on the attacking rounds, playing very smart on their defending rounds, holding the proper angles. Except for that last round, they did play extremely aggressive. They had all of the action that was all at that one front door there. That's the only round so far that I've seen Powerhouse do anything that might be considered, outlandish. But then again, right now we do see an Ash that is hot breaching with a breaching charge, Krim killing himself with a breaching charge, and then Holiday Dog taking out Pretz, Lojax taking out Insane, as Insane takes out Lojax. So there's a trade there between those two. Holiday Dog being extremely low. Avenge is going to take out Swerven. It is a 3v2 right now. Holiday Dog is going to go for this plant. Bosco is going to be covering. I mean, a messy entry. But I think Powerhouse now has this on lock. Bosco just kind of has to sit here.
I don't know. I mean, you got the fuse the fuse is so low that if you sneeze on him, he dies. So you do have the Ash. You do have a R4 seat in Bosco's hands. And see, there's Avenge taking him out. But it is a 2v1, but they do know where he is. And let's hope that they don't do anything stupid when they're peeking him. Here he comes around, and unbelievable Bosco with that R4C, as dangerous as can be, and reverse Esports getting beat in the first 10-0 of this season for CCS Powerhaus. What can I say? They just did everything right. They did everything right. Bosco showed up. Krim showed up. Almost made it through the entire game without having a moment where he can, be turned into a meme. But, of course, in the last round of the game, kills himself with the breaching charge. Typical Krim, right? But, that being said, they did a fantastic job. Sure, they got on a couple of wonky operators. But, again, I think that Powerhouse did a great job of being respectful and all that. And they just did a couple of things at the end to keep from giving away too much to future teams that they play. Reverse, guys, if you're listening, I hope you are right now. Review the VODs. You guys got to practice. You got to get the strats going. You got to put in the work. You got to get those communication skills developed. If that is something that you're already doing, guys, I hate to say it to you, but utilize one of those 6 roster moves that CCS allows you to have, because if you don't make the necessary changes now, okay, it's going to be very difficult going too much further into the season to progress up to the top 8 and make it to those playoffs. Remember, guys, all you have to do is finish in the top 8, make it to the playoffs. So the team leader, the IGL, the guys that are doing good on the team, I hope you heed my words and do what needs to be done, because if not, it's going to be a rough season, fellas. Anyway, don't want to disrespect everybody. Good performance in and out, both teams. Omen taking game number 1, 2-0. Powerhouse taking game number 2, 2-0. If you guys missed any of this action or any of the action that happens on CCS Esports, you'll see a little YouTube link scrolling across your screen right about. Oh, actually, no, I can't do it in this scene in OBS. My bad. It's youtube.com/CCS Esports. You can see all of the games, all of the VODs for all the games, for any of the action that you missed. I recommend going and checking out Flipside versus Most Wanted if you haven't seen that game yet. Other than that, we thank you all so much for being here. Our full season schedule, all of the stats for the players and the teams are available at ccsesports.com. Again, I am joined today by our silent but deadly cameraman, Kaz Rep, as well as Mr. Crazy Man. Anything to say about any of the games we witnessed tonight, Crazy?
I just got to say this. Great work, Krim, with that ace, and then also great work with that breaching charge. I'm proud of you.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, good job. Fellas, we will see everybody here hopefully on Wednesday. Again, go check out that schedule and be sure you give your favorite team a follow on Twitter. Give them a little bit of support, especially for the smaller teams in here that are in here putting on a show week after week, just like Powerhouse, just like Reverse, just like Kronos, just like Oman. And we will see you folks on Wednesday. Peace out.